Dear learner, welcome you all on the lecture on boiler and its classification. Myself Dr. Harish Dhitlahare, Assistant Professor in CSVTU Bhilai. In this lecture, we will discuss on boiler definition, functions of boiler, working principles of boiler, applications of boiler and its classifications, and in the last topic we will cover comparison between water tube and fire tube boiler. First, let us see what is boiler. A boiler or a steam generator is defined as a closed vessel in which water is converted into steam by burning of fuel. Now, let us discuss about functions of boiler. Mainly there are two functions of boiler. First, for producing steam, and second one is producing hot water for hot water supply. Now, what is IBR and non-IBR boiler? IBR means Indian Boiler Regulations in the law of India. It defines a boiler as a steam producing vessel having capacity more than 5 gallons. 5 gallons means 25 liter. Simply we can say that IBR boiler means any closed vessel exceeding 25 liter in capacity and which is used expressively for generating steam under pressure and temperature. Now, advantages of IBR boiler. First advantage is no risk of explosion manufactured from IBR material. Second, legal compliances ensure peace of mind, longer tube life and lesser breakdown and safety assurance. Non-IBR boiler. Non-IBR boiler is a boiler which is not covered under IBR regulations. Any boiler which not covered under IBR, that a steam producing vessel whose volumetric capacity is less than 5 gallons is a non-IBR boiler and produces steam below 1 kg per centimeter square design gauge pressure. Now, the advantages of non-IBR boilers. First advantage is outside the purview of IBR. Second, no registration of boiler required at the site. Third, easy of operation and maintenance. These are the advantages of non-IBR boilers. Now, we comes on working principles of boiler. The working principles of boiler is very simple and easy to understand. The boiler is a closed vessel in which water is stored. Hot water are produced by burning of fuel in the furnaces. These hot gases are made to contact with water vessel where the heat transfer takes place between water and the steam. Therefore, the basic principle of boiler is to convert water into steam by using heat energy. Now, applications of boiler. The boilers having a very wide applications in different industries such as food processing industries, paper industries, chemical industries, refineries, thermal power plants, sugar plants, textile industries, healthcare industries, etc. We comes on classifications of boiler. According to the location of boiler cell axis, the boilers are classified into three categories: horizontal, vertical and inclined boiler. So, first let us discuss what is horizontal boiler. When the axis of boiler cell is horizontal, the boiler is called horizontal boiler, like Lancashire boiler, locomotive boiler, Babcock's and Wilcox boiler. The vertical boiler, if the axis is vertical, then that boiler is called vertical boiler. Example, Cochrane boiler. And last, the inclined boiler, if the axis of boiler is inclined, then that is called inclined boiler. According to the flow medium inside tube boiler, the boiler can be classified into two categories: fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. The fire tube boiler, the boiler in which hot gases are inside the tube and water is surrounding the tube, that is called fire tube boiler. Examples, Lancashire boiler, locomotive boiler, Cochrane boiler and Cornish boiler, that is water tube boiler. When the water is inside the tube and hot gases is outside the tube, then that boiler is called water tube boiler. Example, simple vertical boiler, Babcock-Wilcox boiler. Now, according to boiler pressure, boiler can be classified into three categories: low pressure boiler, medium pressure boiler and high pressure boiler. Individually, we can see what is low pressure boiler. The low pressure boiler is that boiler which produces steam at pressure between 3.5 to 10 bar, that is called low pressure boiler. Example, Cochrane boiler and Cornish boiler. The boiler which produces steam at pressure between 10 to 25 bar is called medium pressure boiler. Medium pressure boiler examples are Lancashire boiler and locomotive boiler. And the third boiler, high pressure boiler, the boiler which produces steam at pressure of 25 bar and above is called high pressure boiler. High pressure boiler examples is Babcock's and Wilcox boiler. According to draft tube, boiler can be classified into two categories: natural draft and artificial draft boiler. First, we see what is natural draft boiler. Boiler need supply of air for combustion of fuel. If the circulation of air is provided with the help of a chimney, then that boiler is called natural draft boiler. When either a forced draft fan or a induced draft fan or both are used to provide the flow of air, then that boiler is called artificial draft boiler. Natural draft boiler examples are simple vertical boiler, Lancashire boiler, and artificial draft boiler are Babcock-Wilcox boiler and locomotive boiler. Now, according to the method of water circulation, boiler can be classified into two categories: natural circulation and forced circulation. First, natural circulation. If the circulation of water takes place due to difference in density caused by temperature of water, then the boiler is called natural circulation boiler. When the circulation is done with the help of pump, then that boiler is called forced circulation boiler. The examples of natural circulation boilers are Babcock-Wilcox boiler, Lancashire boiler, and forced convection boiler Velox, Lamont and Loeffler boilers. According to furnace position, boiler can be classified into two categories: internally fired and externally fired boiler. When the furnace of boiler is inside its drum or cell, then the boiler is called internally fired boiler. If the furnace is outside the drum, the boiler is called externally fired boiler. Examples of internally fired boilers are simple vertical boiler, Lancashire boiler, Cochrane boiler, and externally fired boilers examples are Babcock-Wilcox boiler. Now, according to the types of fuel, boiler can be classified as solid, liquid, gaseous and nuclear energy fuel boilers, which is used as a fuel. The boiler in which heat energy is obtained by combustion of solid fuel like coal or lignite is known as solid fuel boiler. A boiler using liquid or gaseous fuel for burning is known as liquid or gaseous fuel boiler. When in boiler is used electrical energy as a heat, then that boiler is called electrical energy heated boiler, and when nuclear energy is used, then that boiler is nuclear energy heated boiler. Now, according to the number of tubes, boilers can be classified into two categories: single tube and multi tube boiler. A boiler having only one fire tube or water tube is called as single tube boiler. The boiler having two or more than fire tube or water tube, then that boiler is called multi tube boiler. Single tube boilers examples are Cornish boiler, vertical boilers, and multi tube boilers are Lancashire boiler, locomotive boiler, Babcock's and Wilcox boilers. Now, according to boiler mobility, boiler can be classified into three categories: stationary, portable and marine boiler. First, we see what is stationary boiler. When the boiler is fixed at one location and cannot to be transported easily one place to another, then that boiler is called stationary boiler. Examples: Lancashire boiler, Babcock's Wilcox boiler and vertical boiler. Now, portable or mobile boiler. If the boiler can be moved one place to another place, then that is called portable or mobile boiler. Portable boiler example is locomotive boiler. Now, marine boiler. What is marine boiler? The boiler which can work on the surface of water, that is called marine boiler. Examples is marine boiler. Now, let us discuss about Cochrane boiler. The Cochrane boiler is multi-tubular, low pressure, vertical fire tube boiler having a number of horizontal fire tubes. It is the modification of simple vertical boiler where the heating surface area has been increased by means of number of fire tubes. It has a internally fired furnace. In this boiler, the tube's external diameter is 62.5 millimeter and that's number are 165. Now, the advantages of Cochrane boiler. Its advantages are low initial installment cost, it requires less floor area, easy to operate and handle, transportation of Cochrane boiler is easy. It can be used all types of fuel. Now, disadvantages of Cochrane boiler: low rate of steam generation, inspection and maintenance is very difficult, high room head is required for its installation due to vertical design, it has limited pressure range. These are the disadvantages of Cochrane boiler. We comes on Scotch marine boiler. A Scotch marine boiler has a horizontally arranged drum. This drum has a diameter between 2.5 to 3.5 meters. This type of steam boiler can be double ended steam or single ended. The single ended steam boiler has a length from 3 to 5 meters. It has 1 to 4 furnace that enter from the boiler's front side. A double ended steam boiler has a length from 6 to 5 meters. It contains 2 to 4 furnaces on each end. Now, the advantages of Scotch marine boiler. The advantages are this boiler is similar in size than other types of boiler. It has the ability to use all types of water. It is a very efficient boiler. These boilers are ideal for small power plants. Now, the disadvantages: it requires more floor area for a given output. These boilers generate poor quality steam than the water tube boilers. These boilers are not ideal for large power plant. It has a low steam production rate than the water tube boiler. Now, Lancashire boiler. This is an internally fired boiler because its furnace is installed inside the boiler. It produces low pressure steam. The Lancashire boiler is a horizontally stationary fire tube boiler. This boiler has 2 flue tubes. The thermal efficiency of Lancashire boiler is around 80 to 90%. It has a diameter of 1.7 to 2.75 meter and length of 7.25 to 9 meters. The Lancashire boilers are most commonly used for marine and locomotive engines. Now, the advantages of Lancashire boiler. These boilers have easy inspection and cleaning. The thermal efficiency of Lancashire boiler is 80 to 90%. These type of boilers have easy operation. It consumes less electricity because it is a natural boiler. The Lancashire boiler require low maintenance. They have the capacity to produce a large amount of steam. Now the disadvantages of Lancashire boiler: it requires more floor space, they have corrosion problem, it has large in size, these boilers have leakage issues. The main disadvantages of Lancashire boiler is that it can generate only low pressure steam. Now, Cornish boiler. The Cornish boiler is a horizontal fire tube boiler with an internal fire tube. Cornish boiler have a long horizontal cylindrical cell. This boiler has only one fire running from front to back. In Cornish boiler, the cell has a length of 5 to 7.5 meters and cell diameter is 1 to 2 meter. The diameter of flue tube may be about 0.6 times of that cell. Now, the advantages of Cornish boiler. Cornish boiler have a very simple in design and easy in construction. It is a compact and portable boiler. This can overcome load fluctuation during boiler operation. The manufacturing and maintenance cost of this boiler is very low. Now, the disadvantages of Cornish boiler: the low steam generation rate of about 1350 kg per hour. It can take a maximum steam pressure of 10.5 bar. The horizontal structure requires more land. Now, locomotive boiler. The locomotive boiler is a horizontal, multi-tubular, natural circulation, artificial draft, internally fired portable boiler. The unit is designed to the capability of meeting the sudden and fluctuating demand of steam. The working pressure range is up to 18 bar and its capacity is 52 kg per minute square of heating surface area per hour, and applications: railways, road rollers, sawmills. The diameter of the cell is 1.5 meter and length is 4 meter. In locomotive boiler, the number of fire tubes are 157 and in superheated region the tubes numbers are 24. The fire tube diameter is 47.5 millimeter and superheated tube diameter is 130 mm. Now, the advantages of locomotive boiler: it is portable. This boiler is capable of meeting sudden and fluctuating demand of steam. It is a cost effective boiler, high steam generation rate. It is compact in size and its operation is very easy. Now, the disadvantages of locomotive boiler: it faces the problems of corrosion and scale formation, unable to work under heavy load conditions because of overheating problems. Some of its water space are difficult to clean and overall efficiency is very less. Now, Babcock's and Wilcox boiler. Babcock's and Wilcox boiler is a externally fired, solid fuel fired, high pressure, horizontal drum axis, stationary, multi-tubular, natural circulation and natural draft boiler. It is a type of water tube boiler. This boiler is used in high pressure steam requirements applications. Now, the advantages of Babcock's and Wilcox boilers are: the steam generation at high pressure and high flow rate. For a given output, it occupies less space. Parts are accessible for cleaning, inspection and repairing. Parts can be disassembled disassembled and easily carried. Due to the heating surfaces, the fuel is completely burned. Now, the disadvantages of Babcock's and Wilcox boiler. This boiler is not suitable for salty, impure and sedimentary water. The maintenance and installation cost is more. Now, Lamont boiler. Lamont boiler is a high pressure force circulation water tube boiler with internally fired furnace. An external pump is used to circulate the water within small diameter water tubes of the boiler. Now, the advantages of Lamont boiler. This boiler can be started easily. It transfers the heat at a higher rate. The Lamont boiler has a high steam generation capacity of about 50 tons per hour. It can be easily reassembled with the natural circulation water. Its design is simple and it is a high pressure boiler. Now, the disadvantages: the bubbles are formed on the surface of the tube in this boiler. This decreases the heat transfer rate for steam. Now, let us discuss the difference between fire tube and water tube boiler. In fire tube boiler, the hot flue gas flow inside the tube and water has surrounding the tube. In water tube boiler, the water flow inside the tube and the hot flue gases have surrounded the tube. In fire tube boiler, this is also called a internally fired tube boiler. Water tube boiler is externally fired tube boiler. In fire tube boiler, the pressure is limited to only 20 bar, but in water tube boiler the pressure is around 100 bar and more. In fire tube, the explosion chances are less in a fire tube boiler because a low pressure. Here explosion chances are more because of high pressure. The rate of steam generation is lower. Why? Because the pressure is limited to only 20 bar. In water tube boiler, the rate of steam generation is high. Why? Because the pressure is limited to 100 bar and more. The overall efficiency is around 75%. In water tube boiler, the overall efficiency is around 90%. In fire tube boiler, the efficiency is less compared to water tube, and in water tube efficiency is more as compared to fire tube. Load fluctuation cannot be handled in fire tube. Load fluctuation can be easily handled in water tube. In fire tube, this is not suitable for a large power plant. It is used in the process industries, but in water tube boiler it is suitable for large power plants. In fire tube boiler, a less skilled operator can work on this boiler, but in water tube boiler requires more skilled operator. In fire tube boiler, the maintenance cost is low, but in water tube boiler the maintenance cost is high. A fire tube boiler requires more floor area for a given output, but in water tube boiler requires less floor area for a given output. The examples of fire tube boilers are Cochrane boiler, Cornish boiler, locomotive boiler, Welcon boiler, simple vertical boiler and Scotch marine boiler. These are the fire tube boiler. The examples of water tube boilers are Benson boiler, Lamont boiler, Babcock's and Wilcox boiler, Lamont boiler, Loeffler boiler and Yarrow boiler. So, dear learner, today we have discussed about what is boiler and its functions, the working principles and applications of boiler, and classifications of boiler, and in the last topic we have discussed the comparison between water tube and fire tube boiler. So, dear learner, in the next lecture we shall cover the boiler mountings and its accessories. Thank you very much.